Hey guys, it's Jamie. Today we're going to be making our fourth page in the altered book. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it has a flip out pocket and some collaging and some framing. Before we go to the desk to do that, I'm going to do our journaling question today, which is, how did your parent or parents' expectations influence your life? I think in my case there was only one real expectation, which was to go to university. So therefore I went to university rather than drama school to become an actress. Therefore you could say it's had a massive influence on my life because I never became an actress. More subtle influences was how I behaved and what I would do in certain events, the advice that I took. And it really took me a long time to realise that actually my mum's advice was the very opposite of what I should do. I think we can safely say that her expectations didn't really influence my life, but her advice and guidance really did, and not in a good way. Let me know how you're enjoying this Journal With Me series and whether these questions are useful to you in the comments below. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Every little bit helps to promote the channel to others. Now let's go back to the crafting table so we can make that page together. Welcome to the next page in our altered book. On this page, I'm going to add an envelope so that we can use that to put our tags in, and that's what I will actually do first because I can always push it out of the way when I want to decorate this page. I will use some glue stick to add that to this page, and I will go over the area inside with some art glitter glue. I'm going to move it to the end, make sure that's down. To decorate the envelope, we can just use a bit of napkin and some Mod Podge. I want to separate the napkin by tearing back some layers. So this is a 3-ply. To cover this, we're going to need a reasonable amount. As usual, we're not trying to cleanly cover anything. Hold it up and put a layer of Mod Podge over the top. Just trying to make sure that we keep that pocket and not glue everything together. We can use one of the layers of the napkin to go over some of the print here, and it will also help start to protect the page, bring things together, seal down the envelope even more. We'll patchwork that piece in over that bit of print. I will, as usual, be running a piece down that centre because I like to protect, with an altered book, the joins. They do get weakened. I have these old bits of craft card. I'm going to cover these with the same napkin. Once your frames or cut out punch pieces are dry, take a craft knife and try to cut through little bits coming over are fine. Something I'm going to do just so that the page is protected and we can stain it a little bit is cover over any areas that don't have napkin on with Mod Podge, and then on these bits that have already been covered a little bit, we're going to add some of this pattern napkin this side with bits that are going to be covered, so this part and this edge. As with previous pages, going to sand over the edges. Samantha sent me these napkins, so I only have one of this type, therefore I'm going to patchwork some of this onto the front of the envelope. We have some torn bits here, but that's okay. Do another layer of Mod Podge over that. To tone this into this, I think the closest colour I have is tea dye, And it doesn't have to be perfect anyway. It's just to bring some kind of unity to it. I will be spraying this with water as well. The pages have now had a couple of coats of the tea dye. Both times water was sprayed over and dried. I'm going to get some Mod Podge onto these bits that are lifting. We have our frame here that can go on, but I'm wondering whether we want to add a bit of collage as well, or whether we're going to keep it really, really simple. Just having a quick look to see what it would look like with a little bit of collage before I make a decision what's going to go on here or not. Yeah, I'm probably going to put a bit down, not too much this time. We've got the frame to put on, and I'll use the art glitter glue for that because you get a thin stream. Okay, need to smooth that on there. On this one, I've got another frame somewhere. Now we need to think about what's going to go above and below. We can do a thing, but come up and start to layer with bits and pieces. Would need to go there. Get that one down first. Now the frame's down and in place, we're just going to build up a bit of collage across this base. Got a number there which we could put on. And then we just need something down here. A bit more of this tissue actually we could throw on. Just stick that over there and we can get those edges in a minute. I thought I'd try putting that down and I actually quite like that over there. I'm going to stick that down using the Oohoo silicone glue because it's a plasticky type material. I quite like that. That makes a bit more of a feature of that framing there. Side probably will need something over this frame. I've just found these pretend old-fashioned postcards and I think I'm going to put one on the front of that envelope pocket. It gives it a little something without having to over fussy it. We've got a lot of collage in this book already and I don't think we need to keep doing a ton of collage. I'll use the silicone glue on the edges because you do need some strong glues now to get things to go down, and as well as burnish that in, I will stick a heavy weight on it to help it take. I've cut out a few tiny little bits of autumn ephemera and I'm going to glue them around this photo frame. That just adds a bit of interest to the bottom of this like we have here, so it's creating some balance between those two pages. I need to straighten up some of these edges, use the sanding block for that. Now that's done, I want to edge round the pages. I'm going to do it pretty much like I did before, which is take the ink pad along the page edges. To go inside the envelope, we have the Masquerade Ball invite, a piece of autumnal paper and a piece of patterned scrapbooking paper. That's 3 places to journal on in there. That then folds in on that and closes that way.